Hello, my name is Jessica Corder, and today we're going to talk about the documentary Balanchine. Balanchine was a famous ballet choreographer who choreographed a lot of the variations we see in ballets today, as well as a lot of them we've seen in the past. To start this presentation, we're going to talk about the purpose of the documentary. The main purpose of the documentary was to tell a story of George Balanchine's life, work, and legacy. They started the documentary talking about George Balanchine's life, how he came into dance and how he came into choreography, and how his life worked from there. The second purpose of the documentary is to show the ballets in which Balanchine created and the reasoning behind the creation. They did this throughout the film when they started showing a variety of his ballets and what was his mind process behind those ballets as well, and mostly in the second part of this film. The audience for this film would most likely be dancers, especially the ballet dancers. I'm pretty sure you can walk into any dance company and mention the name Balanchine, and most everybody would recognize that. So a film honoring the great Balanchine would be a great thing for them to see as well. Also, there are a lot of dancers that were probably still alive that either worked with him or worked with someone closely related to him, and so those dancers who also knew him would also like to watch this film, and patrons of the art. A lot of those supporters of the arts and ballets would hear George Balanchine and say, "Oh yeah, I want to go see this film," because they knew the choreographer. Dance styles. Majority of the film is classical ballet because that is what he's choreographed. There is a part in the film where they talk about George Balanchine wanting to branch out more than just ballet, and at that point they also talk about him choreographing a piece with Martha Graham. And at that point there's a little bit of modern and some more contemporary as he gets older in life and develops more ballets that way. The intersections. Dance illustrates the points being made. So when they would talk about Balanchine choreographing Apollo and doing it for a long time, they showed a variety of different dancers playing the Apollo role and clips of that ballet to illustrate what they're trying to say. Dance is the main focus in this, considering he's a choreographer and they want to show off his choreographing work. So dance is the main focus. The transitions between dance and dialogue, mostly the interviews and other videos, are not very choppy. They're very smooth and they all make sense to go together. And majority of the film is used with long shots, that is to see the whole stage shots. That it keeps it very... You get to see the whole work, I should say, rather than focusing on the principal dancers and missing all the core and what they're doing within the ballet. So I really liked that. That actually leads into my strengths. The first strength is using the past and present videos. They used a lot of videos when they first developed the ballet, and then they used a couple of modern companies dancing the ballet as well. I also liked that they used clips from Balanchine. They used a lot of pictures from his earlier life, but they also used a lot of clips of him and how he would work with the dancers and how he was a part of that, and him as Drosselmeyer and the Nutcracker, which I thought was really cool. We also got to see a lot of the full dances. Well, not necessarily full ballets, but we saw a lot of the full movements within the ballet, and that was awesome because usually we get just a portion of a movement of a ballet, and it kind of leaves you to wonder. But this one we got to see the whole ballet, or whole movement, I should say. And then another strength was the whole stage shots, like I was talking about earlier. You got to see the whole piece rather than just the principals and wondering what the core is also doing. So there are some weaknesses. Part 1 and Part 2 were very disconnected for me. Part 2 is more about all the ballets he choreographed and then his death at the end. And Part 1 is more about his life and how he built up to all those ballets. And they just don't feel like they mesh well together. And I would have liked to see a lot more of the modern uses of the ballet variations. Some more modern companies working with the old variations of Balanchine and kind of intertwined. Between that, I would have loved to see that as well. And some of the most popular ballets, such as the Nutcracker and A Midsummer Night's Dream and Don Quixote, they were all cut really short in the film. They showed most of his works that I don't think regular people would recognize. Apollo was a very highlighted one. Symphony in C was a highlighted one. Pas de Deux was a highlighted one. But there wasn't Nutcracker or anything that most people would recognize as a classical ballet. And so now it's time for the video clip. I picked this video clip because it shows the adaptability of Balanchine's choreography with every dance group that he made. That's the first comment they make in the clip. I skipped down a little further so we could see the actual part of the pas de deux where there's two people dancing as well. So here's the clip, and then after the clip my presentation is done, and I thank you for watching.